Women and men aren't equal, and that's okay.
What did he say?
And it's probably the most feminist thing that you could ever say. So what do I actually mean by this? If you've ever taken a biology class, you probably know that women have 2 X chromosomes, whereas a man has 1 X and 1 Y. Why is this important? An X chromosome has about 900 genes with about 155 million genetic pairs, whereas a Y chromosome only has about 63 genes and 57 million base pairs. Those are 4 very different numbers that are very far apart. But what does this actually mean in practice? Why should we actually care about this? The reason why we should actually care is because it simply means women are genetically superior to men. Have you guys ever heard of the man flu? You know, the thing that your girlfriend makes fun of you for every time you get sick?
Jamie, men sometimes get a bad rap for complaining when they're sick, but maybe they aren't overreacting after all.
Why do we have to do this story? Oh no, every man out there sitting, see honey, I told you so, right? Okay, so this study did happen in the British Medical Journal, and just maybe, Marcia, they aren't complaining just for the sake of complaining.
Well, there's actually a reason behind it. See, the cool thing about X chromosomes having so many more genes than Y chromosomes is when an X chromosome gets infected by something like the flu or a sickness or a disease or anything like that, the female body can actually shut off that infected chromosome and operate on the one that's left. Because men only have 1 X chromosome, not 2, they can't do that. So when they get sick, they actually get sick. It's time to walk my dog. We'll do that, and then we'll get back to what we were talking about. So imagine you're a little girl and you're told that you're just as strong and capable as all the boys. And that sounds great until one day in primary school you start racing the boys at the sports carnival or sports day and you start losing every single time. Now, your brain is going to quietly file this away for later use. And then you grow up and you get to a teenager or you get to being a young woman, and all you hear on Twitter, the internet, everything like that is a bunch of people telling you that you're just as strong and you're just as capable as everyone else. It doesn't matter that you're a girl. It doesn't matter that you're a woman. You're just as capable as guys.
Jennifer, you agree with the following statement: women are just as physically strong as men?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I think you can definitely, women are capable of going to the gym and becoming stronger. Let's say a man can lift a 200-pound weight. I believe that's physically possible for a woman to do too.
You did a bicep curl motion there, and you said 200 pounds. I don't even care.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? It's a yes/no question. Do you believe there's a difference?
Oh, I think that we're talking about this case with the
No, I'm asking a question. Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? Most people could answer this very simply. I'm curious if you're willing to do so.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just putting it into the context of
the
conversation that we're having. I think that there are definitions related to sex.
Is that a yes? So I'm trying to get a yes or no. I'm not trying to get a speech. Is there a difference between women and men?
I think that there are definitions for biological sex.
Okay, so you're not answering that. Let me ask you this question then. Why do women's sports exist?
On average, are men stronger than women?
On average?
Yeah.
No.
Your brain is going to pull out that incident where you lost, and it's going to start questioning, well, if they keep saying that I'm like this, if they keep saying that I'm just as capable, then why aren't I? Why am I not able to do what they say they're doing? And this starts the shame cycle. If you've ever learned about psychology before, you've probably heard of the shame cycle. Or if you haven't, it's a really easy psychological framework that we use to explain how feelings create a feedback loop. For example, me, I really want to lose weight. I just started running, which sucks, by the way. Whoever invented running is an asshole for doing that. But I want to lose weight, I want to lose fat, I want to start looking better because I turned 30 this month. It's time for me to start taking care of myself. But my problem is that I have a really bad tendency of not following diets. Eating unhealthy is the thing that I struggle with every single day. Like running, I complain about it, but I do it. Gym, I do 6 days a week. But as soon as it comes to dieting, it's the hardest thing ever. So how does the shame cycle work? Well, I'm gonna feel good about the fact that I'm going on a diet. I start right here. So I feel awesome. But then I have a trigger, which is either a bad day or a breakup or something makes me feel bad. So what does my brain do? My brain said, just eat unhealthy food this one time, just this one single time, because you know that it makes you feel better and we just need to get through this rough patch. So I make the mistake. I eat the unhealthy food and I eat the garbage. It makes me feel better for 5 minutes, maybe, but now I feel guilty because I've broken my cycle of trying to be healthy. I've broken my goal of trying to lose weight. Now I'm sitting in this pit of guilt and sadness and anger or disappointment or whatever. What does my brain do? Just eat unhealthy one more time. You know that it works. I don't have any unhealthy food here. I got rid of all of it. I was gonna use that as an example. But my brain says, just eat unhealthy one more time to get you out of feeling guilty and get you out of feeling shit. So I do. And then I feel better. But now my trigger isn't a bad day. My trigger is now that I remember that I was meant to be on a diet and I broke it. And so now I feel shit again. And so I make the mistake again. I feel guilty. I make the mistake again. I feel better. The new trigger is I made the mistake again. And it keeps going round and round and round. Now you're measuring yourself against a bar that you can probably never hit, but you're upset because the world is telling you that you should. But you're upset because the world is telling you that you should be able to hit it. So it must be your fault for not doing it. It must be your fault for not reaching this bar that's been set for you. And the problem is that this has resulted in us making natural biology and evolution sound like a bug instead of a feature. And then we acted confused when a whole generation of women grew up feeling like they were inadequate for not reaching a bar that they didn't even set for themselves. It was set for them. But if you take a guy and a girl and put them against each other in genetics and immunology and physiology, is it immunology? Immunology. If you take a guy and a girl and put them against each other in immunology or genetics or physiology, guys will lose every single time. Like every single time they will lose. And the reason for that is because women are genetically superior. So there's a book that I read that started this whole thing. It's called The Better Half. And it's by a geneticist / I think he's a doctor, potentially. In this book, he talks about and he shows the fact that women have higher chances of beating cancer. Women have lower chances of contracting diseases or being infectious. Women have lower rates of being colorblind. Women have lower rates of being autistic, having Down syndrome, having mental illness. Women usually have better neuroplasticity rates. Women have the ability to turn off infected chromosomes whenever they get sick, so they can just carry on like nothing's happening while their body is fighting an infection like a flu or a cold or anything behind the scenes. Women have a much lower rate of getting COVID. So women are beating men at all of these things because they are genetically superior. But I'm not hearing anyone talk about this. I'm not hearing anyone use this as a way of empowerment for women as a whole. I'm still hearing people say that women are just as capable as men. But when they say that, they're measuring women in strength and speed and fitness, and it's just that's the wrong game. we need to stop getting them to play the wrong game because it's just making them feel shit. Men were genetically created to be superior in strength and fitness. Women were genetically created to be better at bringing life into this world, at fighting disease, at growing older. They have better communication skills. Their brain moves faster. They learn quicker. Their neuroplasticity is insane. We need to stop measuring men and women against each other. They don't have to be measured against each other. No one should have ever said they need to be measured against each other. It's ridiculous. Women are genetically superior to men. Men are athletically superior to women. There is no problem with this. So instead of creating this bar that women need to meet on a daily basis, why are we not just highlighting what they're actually good at? Why are we not highlighting what they can beat us at every single day. The reason why I'm saying this as a guy is one day I want to have a daughter, and I don't want my daughter walking around feeling shame and guilt because she's not reaching this bar that the world has set for her, because she's not as physically strong as guys, or she's not as physically fast, or she's not as physically tall. I don't want my daughter feeling like shit because she's not reaching this goal that society has told her she has to hit. I want her celebrating her strengths, such as her genetics, her immunology, her physiology, and everything else like that. I want her walking around realizing how capable she is when it comes to learning things faster, talking faster, neuroplasticity, fighting disease. I want her to celebrate how cool her body is. I don't want her walking around feeling like shit because she can't hit a ball as hard as guys can, because she can't run as fast as guys can. She doesn't need to do any of those things, and no one should be telling her that she has to. Women are really cool. Men are really cool. They're just completely different, and that's okay.